Hello YouTube and welcome to a new Techsloth video. I'm here with a brand new Huawei Mate 9 smartphone and it's time for my review after exactly 1 week of using this device. I was in Munich, Germany when Huawei presented the Mate 9 to the world, and from that day on I played with the Mate 9 the whole week. And I really have to say, overall, this is a really nice device. The battery life is overall really good. This is what you expect of the Mate series from Huawei. We got a lot of great stuff on the device. There are some minor bugs here and there, but let's do this review point after point. First of all, from the outside, how does it feel? Do I already got any scratches on the device? What about the display? What about the speaker? What about the performance, battery life? What about those software bugs I told you about? And of course, the camera. We got again dual lenses with Leica. So first of all, this is a 5.9-inch screen device. But yes, it's huge. Yes, it's big. But it is not as big as or not as huge as other devices. It's definitely like the Huawei Nexus 6P device, but I have to say it feels a little bit smaller. But it's definitely the Huawei Nexus 6P size class. Compared to other devices, 5.5 devices like the OnePlus 3 or even the Huawei P9 Plus, those two devices feel way slimmer in your hand, and I wouldn't say tinier, but just smaller and thinner than the Mate 9. So definitely my first advice is, if you're thinking about getting the Mate 9, make sure that you get it in your own hands so that you can check out this is not too thick or not too big or not too huge for your taste. And one thing that's really nice is, for example, if you take I don't got any the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 anymore, but I still got the S7 Edge, and in comparison the S7 Edge feels just like a small tiny smartphone. Yet it's still huge, or it's still a big device, but compared to the Mate 9 it's not that big anymore. The Mate 9 got this huge aluminium on this full aluminium body, and I have to say, build quality, it feels great. This is a 700 euro device. Don't forget this. This is a flagship. This is a high-end device of Huawei. I would even say it's exactly, or it's the same level as the P9 series, just with a bigger screen and bigger battery life, but with exactly or even better performance. But we come to this later. Build quality is really good. I really like the buttons. Tipping the on-off button just feels, this is really a nice feeling. It got exactly the right pressure point for my taste. On top we got the infrared sensor, which I did not use yet, but I think it's great to have it here if you want one. A headphone jack is also on top. I like that. The SIM card tray on the left side is either dual nano SIM or one nano SIM and one micro SD card for more storage. I put in a 200 gigabyte micro SD card and it works like a charm. Down here we got the microphone, USB Type-C with supercharge. I made a special video about supercharging the device. Not supercharging the device, but just quick charge, fast charging the device. You can get from 0 to 100% in a little bit more than 2 hours, and in way over 50% in just under 30 minutes while the device stays cool. This is nice. And we've got one speaker here. It's not stereo speakers, it's sort of stereo speakers, because the normal speaker you use for your telephone calls works also with the main speaker down here. But in comparison, it's 95% of the audio comes out here and only 5% comes out there. But we get to this later. So overall, really nice build quality. Yes, the device is a little bit curved and the cameras are standing out, so the device is shaky when you put it on a desk, but I definitely have not used it or noticed it that much. Fingerprint sensor on the back, I really like to play around with this. It's got no magic key. You can't push the fingerprint sensor like maybe like on the Honor 8 device. No here, but the fingerprint sensor runs fast, and it's still one of the best recognizing fingerprint scanner on the market and one of the fastest. Maybe the one at the OnePlus 3 is faster, But definitely this one is the more forgiving. If you got wet fingers, it still will recognize your fingers or your fingerprints. So outside, I really like it. And one last advice, make sure, yes, you always should get the color you want, but on Huawei devices, also on the Mate 9, again, if you got a champagne gold pretzel or a front or a white front side, you got this frame, you got this pretzel between the display and the frame of the case of the front side of the device. And if you got a black case or a black device, you won't see it. It just looks normal. If you got a white fronted device, you will see a black border between, or a big, not really a big, not as huge as on the Nova Plus, and not as huge or not as small as on an iPhone, for example, but somewhere between there. So this is just one tip for you. So what about the screen? We got 5.9 inch, we got IPS, no AMOLED, which surprised me because I thought Huawei is promoting this device as a battery superstar, a device that lasts the whole day and even longer, even for hardcore users. So we don't got AMOLED, we got IPS, and we got 5.9 inch, and we got only full HD resolution, so 1920 by 1080 pixel. I have to say, this is enough, sufficient resolution. Everything looks sharp, everything looks fine. Even if you zoom in, no problems at all. If you're doing your social media, if you do a lot of reading, no problems at all. Seeing stuff, reading stuff. The device or the display looks great. You don't need a higher resolution. This is what I want to tell you. 1080 on a nearly 6-inch device is still sufficient. But if you want to go into VR using these VR headsets, would not be that great. Even Quad HD, like on the Samsung device here, we know this, and we all know the Oculus devices where you can put your QHD devices in. It's still too much pixel if you hold the device close to your eyes. Even a 4K display, maybe a 6 or 8K display would be enough, but full HD is definitely enough resolution for this device. Colors, accuracy, viewing angles, everything looks fine on the Mate 9. One only point I would have wished for a little bit more is the brightness. Yes, at the moment winter is coming. This is way enough, but I'm not concerned about the summer. But in the summer, I'm pretty sure people would want it maybe a little bit more brightness on the device. But overall, this is again, I assume, because of the battery life, because brightness drains battery. So next point, let's talk about the speakers, and let's show you, just play you one video and show you what I mean.
And welcome to the next Techsloth video with a brand new Lenovo Yoga book. This is the Windows version, and it's the high-end Windows version with LTE. So we start our setup.
This is a nice sounding speaker. Yes, I'm talking solo, single, because it's, first of all, it's loud. If you are in the morning under your shower and you got this phone in your bathroom, you can still hear the news. You will still be able to recognize voices and understand what they're saying. Over a day on your desk you can hear radio. During the night you can hear your audiobooks or whatever you want. During cooking you can watch TV or use this as a speaker. No problems at all. The speaker is loud, the speaker is good sounding. It's definitely on the top third in the smartphone area. Yes, definitely. What I'm not really getting is this thing about the stereo speaker things, because Huawei is not advertising it as stereo speakers, because I will hear this. Now I will cover the right speaker. You will still be able to hear something out of the left speaker.
Then we insert not just our nano SIM card into the slot,
but as I told you, you don't get the stereo speaker feeling. It's definitely 95% of everything you hear will still come out of the right of the main speaker, and only the left speaker or the normal telephone speakers for the height. And if you rotate the device, you will notice
where's the corner, left side up, chip down, there, but also we take our 100 gigabyte.
There's a small delay because when the device is rotating, the speakers are trying to adjust. But overall, yes, you only get the sound of the right speaker. The left speaker or the normal phone speaker is not that. Other device producer doing it a little bit more clever. I like that Huawei is trying this, but in this terms, you don't really need it. But speaker is nice. You get a nice sound, definitely. So, next step, what about performance? And this is the first Huawei device with Android 7.0 and the brand new Emotion UI. Let's talk about Emotion UI. And I have to say, I don't really like the design. We got our standard design, which looks now really much like a normal Android device, like vanilla Android. But if you head over to the shortcuts, you get this black, gray, blue design, which does not fit the rest, because if you head over to settings, you get this design. Again, the design language is not yet done, and I hope it's not final. Because, what about performance? We got the new Kirin 960 SoC in here, Huawei's own build. We got 4 gigabytes of storage, of RAMs, not storage. We got 64 gigabytes of storage, and overall this combination is great. It's fantastic, it's a fast phone, it's definitely the fastest device I ever got from Huawei. Switching apps, you got enough storage, enough RAM, playing real racing looks great. I always was a little bit concerned about the Kirin SoCs, but now on the 960 it's great. And even on this big 5.9 inch screen, playing Hearthstone is like Hearthstone is playing like a charm. It's amazing, it's smooth, it's good looking, everything runs. And everything other things, big apps, small apps, switching between apps, reading comics, and go back into another app, and then surfing, browsing the web, and again switching. Everything works just fantastic without any delays, without any reloads. The only thing that bothers me are here and there little software bugs. If you're going to your pictures and then swiping through them, nothing happened there. But maybe sometimes if you rotate the pictures, you get your status bar on top. This is just a software bug, a glitch. Let me call it a glitch. Or sometimes I took a picture of it. Sometimes if you're switching apps or going back to the home screen, the app icon will be your new wallpaper until you close this app again. This is nice. Or sometimes I was stuck. The device would not let me rotate the screen anymore. But these are only minor software bugs, which only I assumed in 1% of the daily usage time. This is not a huge thing. And one thing really helps me here, because we got the Mate 9 devices and we got this little post with the devices. The device you have received for the review is an advanced re-release, and while it's reflecting of the final smartphone, the final product that is available for consumers will differ and include a software update. The software update will be available to you over the air in the coming weeks. So this is not yet the total final software here. So there's a little bit hope, and still, the device runs on a very high level, definitely top smartphone flagship material. So what else? You already saw my list of the battery life. We got this 4000 milliampere battery, and let's go through the different points here. I started again, of course, like always, with 1 hour of Netflix watching under normal conditions. So we got SIM card in there, we got Wi-Fi on, we got push notifications, email, all the normal stuff. I just opened the Netflix app and watched a movie on auto brightness. And after 1 hour of Netflix, I got less of 6, or it drained 6% of battery life, which is fine, which is a really great value. This is remarkable. Just count this up, and you could maybe close to 15 hours of Netflix watching. This is great. But then I turned the brightness level to 100% up, and out of 6% there became 12%, so double, which is okay for an IPS display, which is still a great value, because Other devices consume 12% on normal brightness settings. Yes, I know the brightness here is not that high as on other devices, on other top smartphones, but overall the battery draining here is fantastic. 1 hour of comic book reading, which I did as well, and the device is great for comic book reading. Maybe not on the whole page, but this guided view here, page by page, looks just fantastic on the device, either in vertical or horizontal mode. Definitely comic book reading machine if you're into this one. Reading comics, 6%. Reading emails is even less, only 5%. Not emails, ebooks is only 5%. And let's get out here. Swipe, swipe, and where are the short menu? There you are. So let's here reading emails, reading ebooks, and keep in mind Amazon Kindles are 6-inch devices. This is a 5.9-inch device. You can you all know this. You can change the background, you can change the thumb, the thickness, and everything. And I've read a lot on the device, and ebooks is only 5%. This is nice. This is a really ebooking machine. But so now let's go back to the main part and your normal usage. You're using it normally, checking email, surfing the web, doing social media stuff, doing WhatsApp and everything, even here and there watching a short movie and all the things, or a short video clip. This consumes 10 to 11%. This is still an amazing job here. But again, software problems here and there. The Android OS underneath it, or some Android apps, consumed a lot of energy, so that I was looking here, and in 20 minutes it drained 10% or anything like that. So overall, I would assume here and there, if you got the software glitches, it consumes 16 to 18%, and even more if you are using, so 16 to 18, I think this is still a software glitch. With the final software, this could be erased. And the main thing you can do to drain your battery is navigating around with the device, with the display on and Google Maps on all the time. Then you will lose 20% in 1 hour. So, and charging the device, I made an extra video of that. From 0 to 100, a little bit over 2 hours. So this is about the battery life. What else I can tell you? Performance, fingerprint sensor, I already got this. Making normal phone calls, no problems here. Speaker quality during a phone call is great. I didn't talk about the cameras. Whoa, let's talk about the cameras. I totally forgot about them. We got, again, the cooperation with Leica. This time we got also laser autofocus. And I have to say, as a point and shoot, this is the first Huawei device I really could consider as a point and shoot camera. Photo quality, if you just take it out and then start taking pictures, is overall really nice. And you can do a lot with the software here. We got, again, on the Novas, Huawei did not give us the same camera app as on the Huawei P9s. Here on at the Mate 9, we again got this amazing camera app where you can do so much stuff with it. You got so many different things you can do. So, but overall, picture quality with enough light is good, is great. You can do really good and fantastic shots if you do play a little bit around with the focus, with the lens, with the blends. Definitely, if it gets darker, you get, of course, pixel pictures in color, but you got this 20 megapixel monochrome sensor. And then I definitely would advise using the monochrome, taking black and white pictures. Yes, it's not that nice, but they do so much better taking those black and white pictures than that's your noisy and pixely colored pics. So, and the monochrome pictures with the 20 megapixel sensor looks fantastic. The front-facing camera makes decent pictures too. Again, only in bright light. The video camera, it's now the first time that we got, oh no, it's the second time, but it's the first time we got 4K videos on this Kirin's CPU. And I really have to say, quality of the 4K video materials are great. If you hold the camera still, if you don't move a lot around here, then you get really nice pictures or nice video quality. If it gets darker, the video quality will decline, and the autofocus here and there is sometimes troubling. But overall, point and shoot, yes. Great picture quality, yes. Great camera quality, video quality, yes. if you take your time and if you got good lighting. And you can get out even more the more you invest into the Huawei camera app, the more you get out. But still, this is not some wonder. If you got bad lighting, you don't get you don't get nice videos, and you don't get nice pictures in color. So this is overall, but overall it's definitely a camera I would use without any problems during my holiday, for my main weekend trip or some big events. So no problems at all. I've already spoken about audio record quality. We got somewhere here should be 4 microphones. Audio quality is nice if you want to use this as a recording device, definitely, as an audio recording device, definitely. And software, I've talked about it. Emotion UI here and there needs a bit of work. We got the shortcuts which only work in the lock screen, which I think why don't they give us those quick settings also in the main screen? This would be way cooler to turn on your calculator, flashlight, timer, or anything like that, so that you don't have to because you're getting used to using the fingerprint sensor and the device unlocks that fast, and if you want the shortcut you have to push a button and then swipe up and then you get them. So there's still some little points in Emotion UI that don't work out. They need a little bit still more work, but still this is the best Emotion UI I ever had until yet now, and I still would say this is the best Huawei device that I ever had. So, but this is it. Final thoughts about the price. 700 euros is a lot, but still I think it's worth it. Compared to other devices, definitely. Of course, the S7 from Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, for example, costs around 100 euros less here in Germany. Also a great phone, a great phone, and but not comparable with screen size and battery life. But therefore we got the waterproof thingy. And but still it's in the price range for a new device. This is now half year old. It's still totally fine from the price value point here. Also the Huawei P9 Plus, which costs a little bit above 600 euro. There's a problem here, because I know, yes, the P9 is way slimmer and thinner and more elegant to hold, definitely. But it can't record 4K videos. Here we got better camera, we got better performance, we got the newest Kirin ZOC line. This is definitely a hard choice. Here you get the better smartphone, but this is the more elegant and smaller device for a little bit less money. I assume a lot of people will still buy P9s and Mate 9s, and the P9 Plus is a unloved child in the middle, for example. And don't get started with the 400 euros for the OnePlus 3. This is definitely OnePlus is playing out of the world on a price value, money value points. The OnePlus is still another league. So this is it. But overall, I have to say, yes, nice device. I'm totally satisfied until now, and I'm even more, no, not totally. I'm slightly satisfied, and I will be satisfied if we get the promised software update that will get rid of some of those software bugs. So this is it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.